6 years?
No,
Since you've been on count 4?
Four.
And 2 years with us,
it's
it's 6.
6 years.
Yeah,
Yeah.
at least
But
six.
they changed them when they got on the
I
council.
know,
too.
how was it
So
before?
That's the
they-
council's
Monday?
decision.
Yeah, they've been doing it for 6 years, so how long we gonna give them to adjust? We gonna give them 1 council meeting, 2 council meetings, 3 months? I mean, how we gonna?
Let's go on the next agenda. Let's go on the
So we're
next
gonna
council
decide
agenda.
right now that we're
No,
gonna
on
change
next
it.
council.
My personal
Actually, I'm
favorite
not
was
sure
when we
can
did it,
decide without
when we
Terry.
did it
Sounds
on a
like
different
we're gonna
night.
do the 2-2.
Well,
My
I'm just
personal
saying,
favorite was when we did it on a
We're
different
not
You,
going
night.
you
to
say
that.
it, right, you say what we gonna
I'm just
change,
stating my opinion. I'm just stating, because that's
Right.
my voice.
right,
I'm
as
saying
far
my
as
voice.
changes, you will see the changes as far as what changes are being made to the council procedure now.
Right, so.
We're discussing the time.
Right, when that change is made on the council procedures, well, we're gonna have another work session, or the first time we're gonna see it is that week, and then it's gonna be on the agenda.
Yes, you're
We
gonna get.
discuss all the change, like, we're gonna be in a work session tonight discussing all the changes
Mhm.
before it goes on the,
Before it goes on the agenda.
so when we gonna get that? Cause next council is next week.
Yeah, we'll have
Tuesday's
it,
the day.
we'll have it tonight or tomorrow. Do we have that?
I mean, I
The
have,
changes?
I have a change right here, I can give them to you.
Yeah, okay, well,
Okay,
yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna email them to you, but there's a
Oh,
hard
you
copy.
got it.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
don't
you.
know.
I asked a good question there, then.
That's
Craig had a few, and then there was some other stuff that me and Bobby Joe discussed, so I sent y'all something before. Those were in red, and then the additional changes are in blue, so y'all can see. The
Okay,
original's in black, the first changes are in red, and the second changes.
Okay.
okay,
Thank you.
good, good. Thank you, Randy.
See, that's why I asked that question.
Bobby Joe, I liked it better when we did it on a different night.
You did?
Because I did, because I'm gonna tell you, we're sitting back here arguing, and it's not really, it's a friendly argument,
No,
but,
we're not arguing.
but you may spend 2 hours back here on a weeknight going over the agenda and us talking about it. Out there, you're gonna have on the same night, you're gonna have 1 hour to go over. If we got 20 things, very difficult to get through pre-council.
Well, let me say this. These procedures should have been changed when we got in office a long time ago because of the different form of government that we're in now. So it's long overdue.
Well, that doesn't have anything to do with it. Y'all can change it.
Yeah, the council has the authority to change the council procedure.
They do.
But as far as, what's changed or whatever, that's up to the council.
If you got 3 votes, you can change it.
Take this and look at it. Any questions? Like I said, you've gotten the first draft. I think we did give a copy of the council procedures, the old procedures to the councilors at one of our last meetings. I know we did.
And I started this from the old procedures.
Right.
So everything from the original document is in there, and if it was omitted, then it just has a line through it, so
And-
nothing's been.
And let me say something real quick. This had to be changed. There's no option because it had me in there as presiding officer. It says mayor. So it had to be changed. And a lot of it is something we had to do. It's not something we want to do, it's we had to.
Well,
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I think the mayor has a very good point. We need time to talk about things. We've got a lot going on. It takes, some
If you got 20
explanation.
items, you can't clear them in an hour out there, I'll tell you.
Right. And,
Well, look at that. I know one of the questions we have is the time on pre-council, which, we'll just have to talk about. We'll just have to agree on the time. That's just something we'll have to change. But look at that. We'll go back over the procedures before council meeting next, Wednesday? Next Wednesday?
You can have the meeting out in the council chambers and
Yeah.
the people will get used to it. You'd be here for pre-council and voice their opinion before we vote.
So we'll
The
talk
red
about
is the changes, what's the blue?
The red is the first batch of
First.
changes I sent out. The blue are additional changes that I made today.
Okay.
This question, I just see this in blue, but it's in section 11. You all are gonna send all of your requests, resolutions and everything, you're gonna send those to Carolyn, and then Carolyn's gonna be the one who creates the agenda?
We're just getting the blue, James, so we don't,
Yes.
most of us don't know what we think.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. I was just reading in section 13.
Well,
13, I thought you said 11.
Carolyn is gonna prepare the agenda items. Now, if all the resolutions and ordinances, going to be sent to her, then no, I think those would need to come to the city clerk before you send those to Carolyn, because y'all gonna work in unison as far as the agenda is concerned, but all agenda items, are supposedly submitted to Carolyn.
Say 13.
Well, it's just that the way that this sentence is written here, it
You got the
Section
clerk.
13.
says that, the city council administrative assistant.
What
shall
section?
Section 13.
Section
New
13.
new text, new section.
It says, city council administrative assistant shall prepare a list of agenda items according to the order of business, followed by the council, and furnish each member of the city council, the mayor, the city attorney, the department heads with a copy of such agenda, and post a copy of the agenda in city hall, together with copies of matters to be presented to the extent that such copies are available prior to the regular, special, or called council meeting. So, to me, the way that I'm reading that basically everything will go to her, and she will be responsible for writing the resolutions and the ordinance and putting everything together, and then posting the notices on the board.
That needs to be remembered.
No, that's not stating that, as
Yeah,
far
that's-
as
that's
what's
how
the
it's-
purpose of.
But that's how it's written. Okay,
Okay.
the intent may be something totally different, but the way that is written, that's the way that it's
Well,
stated.
let me say this, you're already having Carolyn prepare the agenda anyway. All items are supposed to be submitted to her. That's what she's doing now, correct? That's the
Well, she
understanding that you got
receives,
with.
she receives all of the agenda items that come from the council. But
Right,
then you got department heads, you got agenda items that I create, you got agenda items that the mayor create, you got agenda items that could come from any department head. So that's what I'm saying, do you
but it
want
don't
all?
need to go to two, it doesn't need to go to two people. They all need to be submitted by a certain time.
Well, that's what I'm
Period.
saying. What I'm saying, I don't have a problem with it, but this document says that now all of that information goes to her, and she will be responsible for basically preparing all
I
of
could
that.
just rewrite it to say that it'll be submitted to Carolyn, and then the council administrator and the city clerk will in unison do everything that's listed on it.
So,
Okay.
so what you're
That's
saying
probably what
is,
needs to be done.
so mayors and everybody who has a resolution, department head needs to submit everything to, well, that's what
Well,
this is saying.
No, they're submitted, the way we can write it, basically what Brandon just stated. As far as any resolutions or any ordinances that the mayor, city clerk, or any department heads has that needs to be written, I guess James will handle that part of it.
Right, and he was submitted to
He
her
will
to put
submit
it on
it
the
to,
agenda.
right.
Okay.
I heard Brandon to say he was gonna rewrite this
So
section
you'll
according,
rewrite that
so
particular section.
I will wait to see what he
say that.
rewrites before I
And
comment.
if y'all wanna, if y'all wanna, like, go through it, it'll be easier if everybody goes through it and y'all
And
email me
submit
the
any
changes.
changes
And then I
to
can just do
Brandon.
one document with all the new changes in it, with what's in there, so everybody can see the progression of it.
Please copy Carolyn.
But if I won't be able to change anything on you,
Submit any suggestions or
and it's just
questions
any
on it.
suggestion, not
Yeah,
changes.
just email me a suggested
Amend
change,
change.
and I
Yeah, if
will,
you see something that needs to be changed, submit
Just
it.
And I'll
change the
just-
section
Yeah.
and how you want to word it.
and I'll just do it in a different color so everybody can see the progression of the changes, so you can see from red to blue to whatever I choose to see. the-
Now,
My question is, I guess you misunderstood. If I send you a change, that's gonna be sketched in stone, or we're gonna discuss it?
No, it's just a change that y'all are gonna discuss. None of this is permanent.
Okay.
This is just.
No,
a
none
draft
of,
document.
like I've got, one of the blue things is for me, 1 out of 15, but,
Why can
you
we
know, it's
just-
not permanent till everybody decides if
Why
they
can't we
agree
just
with it.
kind of go through the document, because if everybody reads it and then submit changes,
I mean, it's gonna be
Now-
6 different
now
changes,
he,
5
Brandon
changes.
has ended up with all these changes.
Right,
and
that's what I was
does he
trying
do
to-
with the changes? So the best thing we'll be able to do is to go through it while everybody is here and agree on the changes while you're going through the document, so he doesn't have to go back and put together a list and then bring that back for another discussion.
Sorry, so after 7:30, I don't think so.
We'll call for a work session, then we'll go through it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks, sir.
That's why, well, y'all got the first revision, that was
Mhm.
passed out.
I got that.
This is the second, so the next one will be the final, and the third revision, I guess. So therefore, sometime during the month, which I was hoping it could be on the agenda for next week, but sometime during the month of June, hopefully we can get this on the agenda, because like I say, this should have been done, not too long after we took office. It was supposed to have been done, yes, because of the change of procedures. So, but take a look at it, and then we'll get back together, right after, looks like, since we don't have enough time, we'll get together sometime after our first council meeting and go through it with a fine tooth comb. And we'll come back and talk about it.
Be fine.
All right?
I think that would be good.
Did we ever decide anything at all about what you wanna do on pre-council?
No, we'll come back to that also.
Okay.
Yeah. So even like, we have two different ideas, two different opinions, I guess. Donna, you wanna talk about the green space?
Yes, I'm going to ask for $20,000, not to exceed $20,000, to finish the green space park. Mr. Johnson and I went out there and looked and talked about it, and, he has strongly suggested that we put a piece of inexpensive, small child's play equipment out there. I have had several requests to make a walking track around the perimeter of the
Green
area,
space.
the green space, and to furnish it, and to Alabama Power should be calling me with a price to put out some decorative lighting in there to lease it. They do lease it. I don't know how much it is. They will meet with me and Mr. Johnson on site to, he said maybe 1, 2, and if we could afford it, 3 decorative lights to go into the green space. There is a cobra head at the corner. There is one utility pole. He said it would be nothing to run the wiring from the utility pole underground to, to do the lights. And just to buy the furnishings, picnic tables, maybe a swing, some benches, flowers. The grass is coming up, it's absolutely beautiful. People are just, when you've never had anything, it's hard to imagine. And as it comes to life, it's like, wow. And so it's definitely a wow factor. I don't know, the mayor brought up a very good point about, I would like to have a concrete, like a sidewalk, going around for a walking. The mayor said maybe a pea gravel.
That's probably
Perimeter.
best for running.
That would actually be better for people who are actually walkers.
Yeah.
I
They
think,
would?
'cause-
Yeah, because it's softer.
It's softer, and for people who are flat-footed like me but still like to walk, the pressure of the concrete's a lot worse than the pea gravel.
Yeah,
Well,
it's gotta be smaller than a pea gravel. It's got to be really to where it compacts, but it's not like concrete or asphalt.
Yeah, it's almost like that cinder stuff.
Yeah.
and so that would be very easily laid and very
It used to
easily.
be around
taken
East
care of.
Lake Park.
Okay. I used to walk around East Lake Park.
Well, that's what was on there.
I think that, with these few adjustments, and I really,
I got it.
of course, I'm still living in 1950, but I think that this would finish it off, and there was $2,000 left in the budget for clearing and the piping and all that, and,
There's still 2,000 in there.
well, the last time I
thought
talked to
there would've been
Randy.
more.
Mhm.
I thought there would've been a little more left than that.
Well, the last time I talked to Randy, and he was just going from memory. I don't think he had actually
You
set down.
talking about Roebuck Plaza?
Yeah, Robert Plaza.
I don't think we spent 14,000 over there. I'll have to
I
look
hope you
and
didn't
see.
spend 14,000 over there for just dirt.
Hey, that was good dirt. No, he got some dirt given to him, actually.
What we approved for up to 14.
14,000.
Yeah,
14,000.
where's the
14
other
and
20
change.
So where's the other 20,000?
James would be the only one that knows what that figure is.
Yeah. Have you talked to Public Works, or have they said anything to you about it? No, and honestly, I don't have, any final, cost on it, because I've been out of town, but I can certainly find out.
Yeah.
And the reason that I know 20,000 sounds like an astronomical amount, but if we could get a beautiful park for less than 50.
Green space.
I'm sorry,
Green
excuse me,
space.
oh Lord have mercy, that's a 4-letter word. Green space, with a walking, thing around the perimeter and everything for under $45,000. That's a bargain when cities are spending hundreds of thousands of dollars. I know I had a call and she says, my cousin used to be a counselor in Leeds, and she just spent $360,000 on a green space. And I'm thinking, gosh, if we could, do a beautiful little area.
Well, it must have been a park.
I think it was.
That was the part.
But you gotta rezone them so
Let
they
me,
park.
I was gonna say, let me say this. We need to make sure, we get Butch involved, because I don't wanna put any equipment in the green space to where it would be
Has to be
considered.
rezoned, right.
Yes,
You're
a
right.
park area, so we need to get Butch involved and make sure we're not, turning
Overstepping.
this particular piece of property.
Okay, I will.
into
But
that
now, and
zone.
let me say this is the good news, this is the good news. We thought it was gonna have to be surveyed, which was going to be thousands of dollars, and I know that sounds crazy, but that's the truth. And, so Mr. Johnson told me what I needed to do, so I went to the courthouse, and I did what he told me to do, and I took him the information, and, it doesn't have to be surveyed at all. That saved us thousands of dollars.
But we have a city engineer.
Well, but they pay a surveyor, and he's the one, the city engineer said it would be $5,000.
I saw something about a piece of pipe we need over there.
Yes, we need a piece of pipe about 6 feet long to finish up the ditch.
That wouldn't be hard to do.
No, it's not hard to do, and, so I'd like to see
They
that
may
done.
have a piece.
That'll finish that, but,
Okay,
so,
that's it, $20,000.
but I will talk to Butch
Okay.
and find out all the
All right,
particulars.
first thing, let me time out.
Mhm.
Okay, come on.
You're talking about the park committee being over here.
Mhm.
Yeah, I was gonna say, there should be it should
It's
go
not a
through
park.
you.
Well, it's
It's not
a
park.
green space, which is part of it.
It's a
Part of
green
the park.
space.
It's a green space part of the park.
Mhm.
So first question is, where's this money coming from?
I thought it was coming out of the park.
Well, I just wanna make sure, you know.
I thought it was coming out of the
Because
park.
it's coming out of the park, then it's talking to the wrong committee. This should have went to the park committee. But what I'm saying is, we got a big project at Beacon, and, this is important,
It is.
but that's priority. So
Just
to
leave
get-
me enough for my rail.
Well, we got the rail, but the Beacon Park is priority. That's number one. When we start talking about green spaces and things, Beacon Park is priority.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Can I suggest something?
well, no,
And-
let me finish. Let me
Okay, go
finish.
ahead.
Now, we don't really know what's we gonna get for 20,000 at the green space, because the reason I said that, Rock Ridge got one. The two latest drew up was cheaper than 20,000.
It was 7,000 and something, and included a lot of the
So
same.
I'm trying to figure out,
things.
what is this $20,000 going to?
It didn't include the
speak now?
track.
Can I speak now?
Mhm.
Because they didn't have a wide open ditch to fill in, to put gravel in, to buy pipe for, to get dirt in, and they didn't have to grass it, and they didn't have to cut the trees down. It's already cleaned off.
Okay.
There's no open ditches. In other words, when we're comparing apples to oranges, so to speak, because that is ready to set furniture on.
What I'm saying is, we just allocated $14,000 to the project,
Right.
and we haven't allocated anything to Rock Ridge. So we just allocated $14,000 to the project.
Yes.
So what you just done to this point, what you're saying is cost us $14,000.
No, it's cost us, I can't say for sure, but the last time I talked to Randy, he said he thought there was $2,000 left.
So we need to
Who
get,
you
we need to
talking to?
itemize.
Randy Gardner?
Randy
Randy
who?
Pate,
Randy
Who was
Pate?
Randy
the
Pate?
supervisor.
Well, I'll get James to find out what's left.
Let-
Yeah, then we can find out what's
let's-
left out of the 14, how much we need
Yeah,
to talk
let's-
And the
intelligently.
reason that I've
let me
said
back
not
up,
to exceed
let me back up a
10,000.
little bit, and I think